You're such an asshole.
AssholeConsulting.com. Go there if you got questions. Send them to me, the world's only professional asshole, at AssholeConsulting.com. Evan, a young man, writes, Cappy, I have a couple grand worth of video game stuff that I sell on eBay, enough to fill 3 file-size Sentry Fire safes where I currently have it stored. Should I get renter's insurance? I don't have anything else in my apartment worth insuring. Thanks. Well, if they're fire safe safes, those are heavy motherfuckers to move, and half the security that comes with having those big ass. Now, those are the small ones, but even then, it's two. One, they're very big, and that's half their security is that they're heavier than fuck to move. So some people might just leave them. Any safe can be hacked, and the problem is that now that you got this big ass safe, someone knows what it is. If they get 2 guys, they could probably make off with at least one of them because they think there might be money or silver or gold in there, and they're going to open up and say, "Ah, shit, there's like $600 worth of video games." Maybe they don't even know what it is. And then 3 Sentry Fire safes. I was thinking like, okay, a safe that's where people immediately go, and so. They may just pick up the safe and move and escape with it, and then they can open it up later. In other words, that tells the bad guys where the good shit is. So a lot of people have a fake safe, and they'll put some token amount of good stuff in there, and then the bad guys come in, they take the safe, they open it, oh, this fucking wasn't worth it. And meanwhile, they got their real stuff either in a real big-ass safe or something cached out in the forest or something like that. So that's what other people do. But is it worth getting renter's insurance? So we had a little chit-chat. I said, well, is this your primary source of income? Is it vital? You said, no, I don't need my eBay business to survive, but it really sucked to have $2,000 worth of stuff stolen. And so what I would say, is it worth getting renter's insurance? You know what? Depending on the state you're in, call and find out. Yeah, it would suck. And what I'm afraid of, what you're going to run into, is you're going to call them up, and they're going to have renter's insurance. And it's just this general blanket policy that's going to cover a lot of stuff. You unfortunately don't have a lot of stuff aside from this $2,000 worth of video games. So this blanket policy is going to assume that you're like the average person. You got a pretty decent TV, you got some video games, you got a bike, maybe there's some cash, maybe you got a gun. And it's going to be over insurance for your piddly little $2,000 worth of stuff. But you may be able to say, look, all I got is this this is it. This is the only thing worth insuring. And they may look and say, yeah, you know what? It's $5 a year. Whatever. Is it in a safe? Hey, now it's $4 a year. But again, it depends on where you live, state and city, that kind of thing. So call up an insurance company and find out. For me personally, would it be worth to insure it? If it's not key to your survival and it's only $2,000, and if that's your total inventory, then like per month you're making what, maybe a couple hundred. So this is not an end all be all. Like if someone breaks in, they take it, that would suck. But what I would do, here's what I would do. I would go in there and grab the really, like if these are the smaller safes, if they can be lifted up by a person or 2 people, someone's going to break in, they're probably going to grab that and run out, and then you're going to be out. So what I would do is take your more valuable video games, like the top 10% of these video games, or whatever it is, and see if you can't hide them somewhere that a thief would not look. Well, they got these stories now, like they're tearing down a house. This happened in France, I think a couple years ago. They were renovating the house. They tore down the ceiling, and they found $5 million of gold coins just start falling down on the contractors. Look that up. That's, so, if you want to put it up in the rafters, people cache it, although then it's a pain in the ass for you to have to go get it and then sell it. Find a way to cleverly hide it, that when people go for, they're going to go through the drawers, they're going to go through the obvious places. Go find a place for you to hide it, so you can access it. So if someone comes in, they're not going to get it. They're not going to think it's there. Put in a false bottom on your drawer. There's things you can do Make it easily accessible, though, for yourself as well, because you're going to have to sell it. And then that way, if someone comes in and they make off with a safe or two, they get the shitty video games, and you're only out maybe $1,000. But honestly, it's not worth it. I mean, $2,000, I wouldn't worry about it. I just really wouldn't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. If you were a larger company and like you were kind of like GameStop, yeah, then you need security measures and things like that. But yeah, when thieves come in, they're going for electronics, precious metals like gold, jewelry, and shit like that, cash, guns, things of value, and a safety just says there's some of value, and they'll grab it and run. And then they could be stuck with really shitty video games. So, but yeah, call it the insurance company, see if you can get a deal. Explain, like, look, all I want is this $2,000. You can even get like a property casualty insurance thing of $2,000, maybe. You know, it may not be worth their time to write up this insurance policy, but yeah, you're not going to go belly up losing it. So it's kind of up to you, but that's what the old captain would do. I'd hide some of the more valuable video games in crafty places. And then I'd still have that stuff locked up. And I would probably also get a motion detector. That's easy. You get a motion detector alarm, you go to Menards, you get it, you set the code, and that will like sound the alarm, and that'll scare the piss. I mean, so that's another thing that you could do that's on the cheap. That would just add additional security. But those things are pretty easy. You just grab them off the wall, you throw them on the ground. If you throw it hard enough, it will break and it will stop making the noise. But it'll definitely jack up their adrenaline, like, let's get the fuck out of here, and they might just leave. So, anyway, best of luck to you. Toodles.